some cases you're taking a customer from somebody who had like a customer who has nothing, right? And you're trying to say, okay, how do I build this process for them? In other cases, you may have a customer who has a lot of awareness and they may be coming to you saying, hey, I just need a solution because my current provider doesn't have that. So quickly identifying that at the very beginning when you bring a customer into your stack. In our case, we know that our customers are going to evolve. We know that their business requirements are going to change. So we will bring in a customer and we'll say from the very beginning, hey, these are the things where we've already identified some gaps just initially from a pre-sales assessment, right? We go out, we actually have it, if we're bringing on a new customer, we're signing a new deal. We may do a 30, 60, and 90-day review as we kind of do some discovery, we onboard that client. And then when we get done with all of that, then we actually sit down and have the real conversation at the end of that 90 days and say, hey, look, here is where we see you're at. Here's where we think you need to go. I mean, ultimately, you can't force a customer to make a decision to invest in their infrastructure. You hope that they will, right? But all you can do is make sure you advise and you document that process along the way so that way the customer has all the tools they need and resources. And a lot of the things we do too is we'll also do cross matrices, right? Like a cross matrices. So we'll say, hey, here's why we're making this recommendation and here's where you currently have this gap. And it helps to visualize because you have to remember a lot of times we're a bunch of IT geeks. And so a lot of times when we're talking to a customer, they're making a business decision. They need a business summary or a business reason of why they need to make that decision, right? Some of the best customers I've seen in terms of like their I want to say technology posture or where they're trying to go in terms of their compliance posture are the ones that are sitting down with us having conversations about their overall goals and objectives as a business. And then they're able to take that, we align it with a compliance matrix, and we say, okay, here's the compliance requirements for your business. And then we can actually go and say, okay, here's the scoring matrix, right? This is also really neat too. Here's a scoring matrix. And here's when you're getting an audit done, this is going to be worth 3 points. This one's going to be worth 2. It's going to be worth 1 point, right? And so a lot of times what they'll do is they'll knock the low hanging fruit down first and say, let's just take care of the 3-pointers first, work our way down to the 2s, and then finally get to the 1s.
The old Golden State Warrior method.
Yeah, so they get as close as they can to being as compliant as they possibly can using the highest point level they can, right? And then they work backwards, and that it definitely helps because you're not, as an organization, you're not trying to say, how do I attack 118 controls all at once, right? You're saying, okay, let me attack these first like 30.